NTV Weekend Edition. Now, let's get to Women and Power. And the spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, has vowed not to relent in her endeavor to rescue the boy child from alcohol, drug, and substance abuse. Pastor Dorcas says following her visits to towns and villages across the country, she realized there is something wrong with the boy child that needs immediate attention. She claims over the years, too much attention and resources have been directed towards the girl child, leaving the boy child disenfranchised. The second lady says her office is working towards rehabilitating the addicts in inpatient and outpatient programs. The campaign's objectives is to save a generation the country could lose due to alcoholism and drug abuse if nothing else is done. NTV's Rose Wangoi spoke with Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and here is her story on our weekly segment of Women and Power.
Dorcas Rigathi is just a daughter of a peasant farmer, born in Murang'a and brought up like any other child in the rural home. Unfortunately, we lost our father early enough, and I was brought up by a widow. And because there were so many challenges that we faced, we moved from where we were. And I was brought up in the ghetto of Kiandutu. And of course, I went to school in Mugumoini Primary School. And then from there, I was admitted at Alliance Girls. And for the 4 years I spent there. From there, I moved from Alliance. I went to St. Francis for 2 years. And from St. Francis, I went to Kenyatta University. And from there, I worked as a banker. I am married, of course, to the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Rigiji. And I have 2 children, Kevin and Keith. As a spouse of the Deputy President, I feel that I am accountable and I was called to service. And that is why you find that I'm busy moving across the nation and doing what I should be doing. Many people ask why I am working, and as a wife of the Deputy President, I'm just supposed to be maybe an ornament or a monument in an office, just sitting there and doing nothing. But in the presidency, I believe that it's a constitution office, and since there are expectations of the people, I decided to join His Excellency, the Deputy President, in service and making sure that the people who voted for us also receive the service they need to get. As I came into this office, I decided to cut my fabric on the vulnerable population. The first one is the boy child, the one I've been talking about. The other pillar I deal with is the vulnerable, the people living with disabilities, the widow and the orphans, and the fourth one is chaplaincy, outreach, and family values. The boy child is neglected for the many years when we have been emphasizing, and there is nothing wrong in bringing up the girl child and having affirmative action. And I think as a society, we need to go back to the drawing board and think of the best way to be able to mitigate some of the issues that come when it comes to gender mainstreaming. Because when we speak about gender these days, you will think the gender is a woman. But gender incorporates even this boy child. For a boy child to get health, access to health, access to employment, it's not an option. It's a human right. It's a big error we have done, to leave one behind and to lift the other one very high. This one who is high is being brought down by the one who is low. Because if they want to get married, they get this man, and they feel threatened by the woman. Then what do you find? gender-based violence. You find separated families, you find divorces. If you see the divorce rate now has increased, and therefore as I'm working on this boy child, so that there is some level, there is some balance in the society, ethical things that actually also mitigate for the boy child. Once this is achieved, I can tell you, you get very good families. Those boys are abusing alcohol, drugs, glue, all those substances. Here in Nairobi, you go to every park, they are everywhere sleeping, and you can see that we are losing a generation. And that is why I decided to take up the program to rehabilitate them. The aim and the objective that we have as an office is to be able to get those boys from the streets, take them to rehabs, and then we also send the clergy there to be able to counsel them and to mentor them, so that at the end of the program, they come out as whole men, people who have self-confidence, they have self-identity, because that is what they are lacking. They are the ones who are not very affected. We are taking them to community-based rehabilitations, where they just come, they do sporting activities, and they have clergy and they have counselors who are working with them. Right now we have like 82 here in the ASK Jamhuri showground. And of course, there are others who they are just there because they don't have food. So we have a feeding program for them, and then they do football. We can see progress, and I'm very happy with what is happening, because we have had about 200 of them we graduated the other day. If you see what they were before and you see them now, even myself, I couldn't help but cry, because I saw that transformation. And what we are doing after that is to get these people to vocational training, where they are being trained on life skills, then they are given other skills that will empower them economically in agribusiness, because that's where the space is, and other skills that they can be able now to be attached to this affordable housing. Some will go to the greening our country and the forests. We have planted like 500,000 seedlings. And that is an economic activity that is going to change the lives of these boys. The society has grown a bit cold, especially the parents who have these drug addicts. They have not realized that once you get into addiction, it's a disease. And therefore, they ostracize their sons, they reject them, they don't want them coming around them. Most of the work which we did in the first 6 months was advocacy, so that we start to get people to be more sensitive to the crisis that the country is going through about the boy children. I went to 3 countries, and all of them have programs for rehabilitation. So we have come up with a hybrid of those ones, where we have community-based rehabilitation. The health village is a place where you go get those people who are in addiction. You have a program where they will come in the morning, they go to the clinic, they are treated, and the next thing they do is from there, you get them to activate or a vocational training. Then in the evening, they go to sporting activities. So there will be a sports academy there. From the sporting, they can go home and come again in the morning. And by the time they do all this, it means that they are directing their energy into the right places. And after they are through with their program, they will be able to be connected to the jobs. The other thing that is going to be found in that health village is a detention center, of which we want to work with the prisons. You see, some of these people who have been abusing substance, they go, they are given, they have done two petty crimes, and others are caught with, I don't know, bangi and all that, and then they are taken to the cells. These young men, when they go to the cell and they stay with the other hardcore criminals, they become radicalized. So we want to see a situation where they can come out, also be treated, they go for vocational training, they do sporting, and of course they can be taken care by the prison guards there. They see that they have come back and they are not running away until they finish their term. They will come out as whole men and also become productive. It will be a correction center. And what we need is to make sure that we bring them closer, we love them, we care about them, and where we can, whoever is there, and you know you have enough, you have some money, you can support them to go to the rehab. At the same time, those who can be able to contact us, we are starting to get those health villages. We will be contacting people so that they can come. I think the church has a big role to play for all these programs that you see I'm running, from the programs of the widows and the orphans, the program of the boy child, the program of the people living with disabilities. And as you can tell, I'm a clergy, I'm a pastor for the 22 years. And this means that any time you have somebody who is like my boy children who are there, dirty, and nobody wants them, the only place they can go and be accepted and loved is a church, or even in a temple, or even in a mosque. And what we are doing, we are not talking about clergy. When I say clergy, I mean all clergy. Everybody must go for their boys and take care of them. Every church must open a feeding center where you feed people and preach to them and mentor them. If it is a mosque, they do the same for their own, because it is this drug addiction does not have boundaries. It does not know whether you are rich or poor. We are affected all the same. I love singing, I love dancing, I walk, and I want to start swimming now. Yeah, I also read books. We gym. That one is, I think it is not even a hobby. It's a lifestyle. Yeah, that when we gym, we walk in the morning. That is how we bond with His Excellency. You project him as a very abrasive man and a hard man and everything. All those kind of character you want to make of him. But I can tell you, I've been married for 35, going 36 years now to him. And he's a good father. And he's very soft. If you were to find him in his natural habitat, you would not even believe he's the same person out there. He has a job to do, and it must be done the way he does it. And of course, there is this community of human beings that don't want to hear the truth. He's as simple, and he tells it as it is. People may not know. Even when he was not the deputy president, he has been taking care of thousands of children whom he pays school fees. Many, I know, even today. Every person has a calling. And every time you see an issue that disturbs you, something, every time you see it, it disturbs your mind. Your conscience is pricked by, when you see, you feel it is an injustice. That is your calling. Go for it. Make sure that you do something about it. There are many issues, and every individual is an answer to a problem. And if you are to respond to the problems you see, then this world will be a better place for us to stay, because you are accountable and responsible to God. One day you will answer for what you saw and you did not do.